Hello everyone, it's Christine from Christine's Stamping Spot. Happy Monday. Thank you for joining me for another Mystery Monday video today. So normally I would do probably a Christmas card today, but tomorrow we have a whole new suite of online exclusives that are being released. So I wanted to just touch on this a little bit today in case there was anything in that suite that you might be interested in ordering tomorrow, because I believe there are going to be a few pieces of it that are going to sell out really quickly. So this is one of the stamp sets in the whole online exclusive offering, and it's called Garden Meadow. And it comes with some amazing dies as well, so you can purchase it as a bundle. This is wonderful for anyone that loves gardening, anybody that knows people that love to garden. Just a real spring kind of feeling set. And I know we're going into Christmas here, but it is wonderful for all of those people that like to work in the in the flowers and everything. So I have a project I want to show you. And I was inspired by Jackie Bolhuis and Julie Davison, who are two great well-known demonstrators in the US who posted a few samples. I did switch them up just a tiny bit. So the first card I made was this one, and this was more of a masculine theme to it, and this is one that Jackie had done. So you'll see this beautiful watercolor paper here in the center. So before I get to this card, I just want to show you this paper, because this is paper that I think is going to disappear right away and will probably have to be reordered. So all watercolor images, just stunning. I give kudos to whoever the Stampin' Up! Artist was that came up with this. It's called Meandering Meadow. It's 6x6 package, so you get 48 sheets for each of each design. So I'm just going to show you the back really quick. So you have these beautiful blues in here. You have some sort of sky images going on, some more different tones with the sky and clouds. This with the pinks kind of looks like fuchsias, I would say. I'm not a gardening expert, so I may get a lot of these names wrong. Some more sky images and some blues in here. Some of these sort of sky images, I guess, or water. I'm not sure what that might be, but nice watercolor effect. Some beautiful dark sort of greens and navies in this one. This one here. And this sort of brighter green. And then we have a darker green here too, which will also be nice for Christmas, I would think. Okay, then get ready for the other side. So beautiful watercolor patterns here. So we've got this one. We have this one, meandering through a path, which looks like sort of tulips and things happening. Here with kind of maybe sunflowers or daffodils going on. There are so many colors from our color palette in this paper that I'm sure any cardstock you have on hand would go with this paper. So here you've got the beautiful pinks and these more lined paths. Here, beautiful yellow daisies looking over kind of a brook or a creek there maybe. These beautiful tulips or daffodils or others. I mean, it doesn't have to be. Beautiful blues that just add a pop of color. These beautiful reds and pinks. Beautiful just white daisies in here. Some more sort of daffodil tulip kind of effect. And then this one too with some flowers here in the forefront. So beautiful, beautiful paper. And this is what is part of that whole suite. Okay, now this card is more for me a masculine kind of themed. I turned it into a birthday card, and I'm going to just demonstrate one that I kind of put more as a feminine type of spin on it, but we'll get back to this and I'll show you how we did this later. Okay, so for more of a feminine feel, we started with, or we're starting with a piece of fresh freesia, 8.5 by 5.5, folded in half. And then to make an arch, this is the die that I used. So you'll see there's some stitching on the inside and stitching on the outside, which is really, really cool. So the first thing I did was I selected a piece of designer paper, first of all, from that package, and I chose this one with the white daisies. Now I had to cut it down to 5.25 by 4, which was really difficult to do, but I did. And so I just used this die to kind of, where I wanted my focal point to be. So I kind of decided on that. So ran it through the die cut machine, and this is how it came out. So you've got the stitching on this oval piece, this arch, and then you've also got stitching on this outer sort of pattern. Now this I'm going to save for another project. It does have this on the back, but you can definitely save this for another project. So then this is going to end up going here in the center. Now I wanted to have that outline like this one that was left, but I didn't really want to use this particular pattern that's on the reverse. So I decided to go kind of monochromatic. So I cut another piece of fresh freesia. I ran it through just like I did with the DSP. Okay, so I ran it through first. I got my arch, which I'm going to save for another project. And this is the piece that I'm going to use as my sort of frame. Now, after it was cut out, you can see I ran it through the painted texture embossing folder. Just because I didn't want it to be quite so plain, I wanted it to have a bit of dimension to it. So we are going to put this piece on first. You could do it the other way around, but I'm going to do it with this one, and I'm going to pop this up with some dimensionals. Now I'll probably go a little overboard with the number that I'm using, but that way I know it's going to stick down. And you could use mini dimensionals if you need to. All depends where your die is placed on your paper. Okay, so let's do this. Sorry, I'm probably off camera here. All right, and one more. Okay, so you're gonna take your base and you're gonna just put this down, leaving that little bit of a border, right? Oh, hopefully this, oh jeepers, I might have gone on a little bit crooked here. Let's try this again. Okay, so I'm just gonna kind of line this up. Oh my goodness. This is the thing, right? When you've got so much on here. Oh, fingers are getting all stuck. Okay, so top or bottom, where do we start? Let's start at the bottom. I'm gonna try to get this lined up, and then we'll just give it a gentle press around to secure those dimensionals. Okay, so now you have kind of like a picture frame or a window. And the beauty, because this was cut out with the same die, is this will fit in exactly inside your frame. So this I'm not going to pop up. I'm just going to put it on with some regular adhesive. And I'm just going to fit it inside here and kind of line that up. So trying not to let too much of that, lining up so the, a lot of the purple doesn't show through if you've kind of shifted a bit. Now, this might not be quite as high as it should be, but for our video, you get the idea. Okay, so here, look at, can you imagine waking up and looking at that every morning? Oh, wouldn't that be stunning? Okay, so now we're just going to add a bit of our greetings. So in the stamp set, you have some great greetings in here. I can't imagine having a better friend. Happy birthday, thinking of you. Every day is a fresh start, and hello. And goes with so many images and for so many occasions. So I chose the happy birthday. And so I stamped that in fresh freesia on basic white and just flagged the ends with the banner's Pick-a-Punch. And then I thought, well, this is a little bit plain. So we also have a new pack of glimmer paper coming tomorrow. And it is a package of 6 sheets, so 2 each of 3 colors. And I'm going to show you these colors. If you love glimmer paper, oh my goodness. So here you go. This is Highland Heather. And then we have Petal Pink, which I'm sorry, in this light looks a little bit yellow or orangey almost. And my favorite, this is Pretty Peacock. Like, oh my gosh, that is so rich and beautiful. I can see using this on Christmas cards as well, actually. So beautiful, beautiful paper. So I chose the Highland Heather. Now I know it's not fresh freesia, but it's a little bit of a different shade, doesn't bother me. So again, I use the same measurements and I will post these. It was, I believe, 2 3/4 by 1/2 inch, and then I used the same banner Pick-a-Punch. And then I'm going to just add some glue dots on the back of this greeting, because I know for me, regular adhesive on glimmer paper does not stick the best in my experience. So I always found glue dots or dimensionals or something a little bit better. So I'm just going to offset this. So maybe go down about halfway, maybe like this. And then I'm going to put this down here at the bottom. So for that, I will use some mini dimensionals, I guess. And pop those on the back. Okay. And then we will put this greeting on maybe, oh, that's a little bit crooked. My gosh, my eyes today. Oh, well. Okay, so we'll just stick that here, maybe overlap it a little bit on that frame. So it gives a little bit of bling for a birthday. And then the last thing I'm going to add are some dragonflies. Now, these are also part of the suite, and I know that during the demonstrator pre-order, which is, by the way, a great perk of being a demonstrator, is you get to pre-order a new product a month ahead of launch to the public. And these are so popular. I think they may have been scooped up. However, I'm hoping they will be back in time for the launch tomorrow or shortly after. I'd have to double check that. But I am going to add a couple of dragonflies here. I know we say go in 3s, but you could only just add 1 if you wanted, but I think I will put 3 on this one. I will. There, like so. And there is the birthday card. I'm not going to add too much more because I think this designer paper does so much of the work. Literally, like you could just cut down and put one of these on top of a card base and a greeting and you are good to go. That is how quick and simple this DSP would make your card making. Just fabulous. Okay, so getting back to this masculine one. So I did the same idea. The only difference was I used a different designer paper. So I used this one in the package. So I cut that down again to 5 1/4 by 4. I cut out my focal point to use here in the center. Now the beauty of this piece of DSP is on the back, you have got this sort of wooden kind of imagery, I guess, for lack of a better word. So I basically just used the outline, flipped it around, ran it through that same painted texture embossing folder to get this texture on here. And then I raised that frame up again on dimensionals, recessed the photo or the watercolor image, and then I just added a simple happy birthday with Night of Navy. I use Night of Navy as my base, double bow out of linen thread, and there you go, a masculine and a feminine card using that beautiful new designer paper and the new Garden Meadow suite. And there are other things in the suite too that I'm not showing you, but check them all out tomorrow. If you are interested, I do have a host code set up on my website, christineludwig.stampinup.net. November host code 7KPWKC93. If you are interested in getting in on some of these products right at the get-go. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and we will see you again next week. Have a great week, everyone. Bye for now.